Yeah, good morning guys and welcome. Are you surprised by another failure? And as we predicted on this channel when the squash king of Bosshog was shouting from the rooftops how he was going to be growing and harvesting at least a ton of squash a week, we predicted a failure like everything else that has failed at the Bosshog shithole. Fatso uploaded a video this morning. We've been wondering why he hasn't been down those fields to give us an update, and there's a very good reason for that, as you're about to see. The squash, in fact, I'm going to be honest with you, you know, that old farm is failed, and that you could say is good news, but it's bad news for some people, i.e. I would say Mike and Dubs, this is not looking good for you. Anyway guys, I want you to take a look at this first clip. We've got a few clips to show you. Fatso is down in the fields doing this update. Have a look at this. So in this clip here, farm update, when he pans the camera around you can see that this farm is failing. The squash and anything else that's growing has failed. It's absolutely choked with weeds. The weeds have won, and you can see that no one has been in those fields for weeks. Been no maintenance done on it whatsoever. I just can't believe that he tells his supporters that he's farming for profit in the Philippines, and look at the state of this. It is absolutely unbelievable. But the lump of lard, the e-begging scumbag, does have a solution to the weed problem, which we're going to show you next. Take a look at this next clip.
So we're going to spray everything in field 3 here because it's just not, I don't know, thriving, I guess you could say. It's just not doing that great. So we're going to spray it with a fungicide. The squash in fields 4 and 5 are also nearing the end. We're going to do probably one more harvest. So all these fields here are going to be replanted within the next couple of weeks. Just going to get the last few squash out of them.
So you heard him say that. He's going to spray the fields. That'll help solve the problem. Spray it with fungicide. He then went on to say that all these fields are going to be cleared. We're going to get the last of the squash out of them, meaning there's very little squash there. What happened to the ton of squash a week, Brian? And did you notice that it's so overgrown with weeds that the big lump of lard took a tumble? Well, this just about sums up this scumbag. He's there lying to his supporters, hiding those fields for weeks on end, and what we can see here is an absolute catastrophic failure. Now, I'm going to play you a clip because, as with anything the e-beggar from the Bosshog does, he does have a reason for uploading a video listen to this very carefully.
All that on the plateau there has just been on hold. We don't have we don't have the labor to clear it, and we don't have the pesos for plastic, because even with the plastic, you can see here the King Kong is still present, and this field here was the first one that we did, and it was like 100% coverage on the plastic, with the exception of the holes for the plants. And still the weeds find their way through. So there's absolutely no way we can move forward with the squash on the perimeter of the plateau until we get plastic down. That's, unless, you know, here's the thing. Either we hire 2 people, basically full-time, to knock down the weeds, which is 4,500 pesos a week for those 2 people, or we can spend a couple thousand pesos per roll of plastic and pretty much be done with it. It's much cheaper just to put down the plastic. So we'll get there, baby steps. A lot of this plastic in field 3 needs to be replaced. As you can see, the weeds are winning.
So there you heard him, guys. He needs 2 people permanently at 4,500 pesos per week. Or the cheaper option, he said, is 2,000 pesos for plastic. He then went on to show us field 3. The weeds are winning, he said. And we predicted on this channel that that's exactly what would happen. And I'm going to say it again. This farm has completely failed. There's no ton-a-week squash coming out of that farm, and it never will be. And the main reason why it's failing is he hasn't got the budget to hire people in to do the work, because the lump of lard is not capable of doing the work themselves. And if you remember early on this video, I said it's bad news for Mike and Brian Dubs. So Mike and Brian, you better listen up, because your farm, I've said it before, is outgrown his, and your harvests are much bigger than his. So now can you see where we are coming from? Fatso has failed, so you will pay the price, because he is going to bleed you dry. Guys, we predicted this would happen. It's happened. He's in these fields for weeks. We've been asking for updates or hinting, leaving comments for updates. Those updates never came until today. And I can tell you now, and you can quite clearly see, that the squash and the Bosshog homestead has failed catastrophically. So, till the next time, bye for now.